Hey folks, Surveyor Chef here with Minne-Florida Living, and today I'm thinking American. And what's more American than apple pie? Burgers. Definitely burgers. And some of the oldest reports of burgers in the United States were steamed. So we're going to do our take on a fast food restaurant's steamed burger by doing steamed venison sliders. We're going to put the ground venison on a bed of onions, steam that, steam a bun on top, top it with a pickle, and we're going to be eating good. Stick with us. Okay, here we are. We're going to season up our meat for these sliders. I have some venison here that I have ground with a third pork shoulder. So it's 70% venison and 30% pork. You could use beef, you can use turkey, whatever ground meat you like. I like venison, so we're going to do that today. So take your venison or your beef, drop it in a bowl, add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then add half a teaspoon of seasoned salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. And then just kind of knead this together to mix all the spices up. Alright, there we go. We got our meat all mixed up. I'm just going to take a Ziploc bag that I have sprayed lightly on the inside with cooking spray and put this pound of venison hamburger inside the bag. Then you kind of just work it all the way to the edges here, all the way up to the front, so you kind of have an equal square. Once you kind of get it to this point, you can take a rolling pin and just kind of work it all the way up to the front of the bag. You want these to be real nice and thin, that way they cook evenly. So you can see we're just about to the edge of the bag here. I'm just going to zip it until it's almost closed. Then I'm just going to keep working the meat all the way to the corner of the bag here. You can kind of give it a feel too, you know, if there's any high spots or low spots, kind of give it some help. Until it's all nice and even. Then you can just zip it shut. Alright, our meat's in the freezer, and I'll show you how to get our other ingredients going here. First, we got these nice Hawaiian rolls. Everybody likes these. So we'll just take a bread knife here and cut them right in half. Just like that. Set those off to the side. And we got our, let's do the pickle. So we got a pickle here. I'm just going to kind of cut it on the bias about a 1/4 inch thick. Alright, and for these burgers, we got these halves, right? Some people like slices, some people like going with the grain. For these burgers, I really like doing kind of like a coarser chop. So I'm going to take my knife here and go with the grain, but not all the way to the end. Boom, look at that. Beautiful. I'll get this other onion chopped up. Okay, perfect. We got our onions, we got our pickle, we got our bun. We're ready to steam. Alright, our meat's been resting in the freezer for about 30 minutes. You can see it's stiff, but it's still pliable. So what we're going to do is just open the end up here. Take your knife and just slice open the sides of the bags all the way to the end here. Try not to cut into the meat. Just kind of open this up just like you would an envelope or something. Just like that. I'm gonna cut these burgers into 12s. So I got my pizza slicer here. I'll cut her in half. Beautiful, huh? So we'll just cut this half of the bag off right here. Put these off to the side and we'll get our skillet going. So you can imagine the size of our the burgers that we cut earlier. So just try and work the onions into the same size shape as our burgers that we got cut. Now, just give these a little shot of water. Kind of get the steam going. Alright, we just got our burgers here. We're just going to take them, and we got one side of the plastic on there, so we'll just take them and flop them right on top of the onions, and then just peel it back, just like that. Beautiful. Alright, then just take your spatula and just open up those score marks that we did earlier. That'll let some of the steam through. While I'm doing this, I got to give a shout out to my buddy Ralphie. He's the one that got me onto this. He used to work at a restaurant called JT's in West St. Paul, which is no longer there. But they used to have the best steamed hamburgers. Alright, so we got those going a little bit here. We are going to take a clean tea towel. Yep, I said a towel. This is what Ralphie said to do. Take your towel, just lay her right on top. What that's going to do, it's going to allow the heat to come through and kind of keep the steam in, so we're not cooking it from the top. And also it'll suck up any fat, extra fat on top that we had if we were doing it with beef. With venison here, it's not a big deal. So we'll just let these babies cook on 300 for, I don't know, we'll check them every few minutes and see how they're doing. Alright, it's been about 4 minutes. We're just going to take a quick peek. See how the burgers are kind of cooking on the edge there, but the insides are still kind of red. That's exactly what we want to see. We'll just let these babies go for a little bit more. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes since we last checked, so a total of 7. I'm just going to pull this back here. I'm just going to place my bottom bun. You can see there's a little bit of pink there, but it'll cook through. Just place our bun right there, and these top buns right on there, and just cover her back up. And then I'm going to shut the heat off. Alright, it's been about another 3 minutes. We'll just uncover these bad boys. Take your spatula and cut the bun. Scoop up your slider. Kind of went everywhere, but throw a couple pickles on there. We'll just do that with another one. So, if you're a hunter like me, you're always looking for different things to do with your venison. This right here, this will amaze anybody that is always concerned about how venison's going to taste or how's it going to be. But look at those right there. It's a little sloppy, but it's going to be good eating. Alright, we did it. Steam burgers. Land of the free, home of the brave. And home of the steam burger. Look at that. We got that nice thin ground venison on a bed of onions with some pickles on this Hawaiian roll. You get the onion right away, not too hard. The venison comes through with that Worcestershire sauce. It makes it like a beefy flavor. And then you get the pickles and that soft roll. That's to die for. Thanks for hanging out with me today, folks. This is one of my favorite. And you know the rules. Finish with a Minnesota beer. Thanks for watching.